Dining is a big part of any Disneyland Paris trip, but it can cost a pretty penny. So today, I'm going to let you know the cost of the table service meals at Disneyland Paris from cheapest to most expensive to help you decide where to dine. In this video, I'm going to be focusing on the Disney-owned restaurants in the parks and hotels and let you know which ones are the most affordable, which ones come with a hefty price tag, and the sort of cuisines that they serve, so you will know the best choices for you. My name is Sophie from Most Magical Guides, and I make videos packed full of tips and advice to help you visit the Disney parks like a pro, helping you to maximise the magic by mastering the planning. If you like this type of content, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below so you never miss a video. Disneyland Paris has a nice range of both quick service and table service restaurants. Table service restaurants are your traditional restaurants where you go in, you are sat down by a server and they bring the food to your table for you. So this is what I'm going to be focusing on today. So let's dive into the table service restaurants in Disneyland Paris, ranking them from cheapest to most expensive. First up are two buffets, La Cantina at Hotel Santa Fe and Crockett's Tavern at Davy Crockett Ranch. I love that they stick to the theme of the hotels, with Hotel Santa Fe having a Tex-Mex theme and Crockett's Tavern being more like barbecue. These are a really great way to fill up because of course you pay one price but can eat as much as you like. One caveat I would mention is if you do have allergies or food intolerances, buffets can for some people be a good option because you can eat as much as you like of the options that you can have. But I would strongly recommend to always check the allergy menu. Often the foods will not have the allergens marked on them on the buffet itself, and the chefs don't always have the correct information. So check the allergen menu to know exactly what you can eat and you will be fine. It is worth noting that Crockett's Tavern is at Davy Crockett Ranch, which can only be accessible by a car. You have to have a car to stay there because there is no bus that connects you to the parks. So if you are staying somewhere else, I probably wouldn't recommend going to this restaurant just because it's very difficult to get to. It's more for people that are staying at that hotel. However, La Cantina is a short bus ride or even a short walk from the park, so anyone can eat there. Both these buffet restaurants cost €35 for adults and €22 for children for their dinners. Next up, we are heading into the parks and we are going to Silver Spur Steakhouse in Disneyland Park. Silver Spur Steakhouse, as its name suggests, is a steakhouse. If you do like meaty meals, this can be a good place to come, but they do also have a really nice vegan option at this restaurant for people who don't eat meat. What makes this one of the cheapest table service restaurants in Disneyland Paris is the fact that you can choose to have either a 2-course or 3-course option. Now, a lot of the restaurants will just have a 3-course option. Some you can have a set menu or a la carte, but here you actually have the option of a 2-course or 3-course option, which makes it a bit cheaper, which is nice. 2 courses will cost you €35 and 3 courses will cost you €45. Children always get a 3-course option for €25. Next up, we are going over to Hotel Cheyenne for Chuckwagon Cafe. This again is a buffet restaurant based in a hotel, and because it is a Wild West theme, the food also represents this. Again, it's kind of like that barbecue theming, so if you do love that type of cuisine, you're going to love it here. And interestingly, even though this is a value resort, this is regularly voted one of the best buffets at Disneyland Paris. This is definitely worth visiting. Dinner here will cost you €40 for adults and €22 for children. Next up is another buffet, but this time inside the parks. Here we're going to head to Restaurant Agrabah Cafe, which is a Middle Eastern Aladdin themed restaurant. If you do like Middle Eastern fare, you are going to love it here. The food is really, really delicious, and I would say this is a hidden gem restaurant. People tend to skip over this, but the food is really good here, and the decor inside is lovely. To eat here is going to cost you €40 for adults and €22 for children. For our next restaurant, we're going to head over to Walt Disney Studios Park, and this restaurant is interesting because it's both on the cheaper end and most expensive end at the same time. This restaurant is Bistro Chez Remy, which is the incredible Ratatouille themed restaurant. This is one of my favourite themed restaurants I've been to in any Disney park in the world. The fact that everything is oversized and the storyline is that you are shrunk down to the size of a rat is so much fun. This restaurant serves French cuisine, so if you are looking for the full Paris experience during your trip to Disney, definitely book a table here. Like Silver Spur Steakhouse, Bistro Chez Remy also offers you the option of having a 2-course or 3-course meals, which is why it's both on the cheaper end and the more expensive end. The 2 2-course meal costs €40 and the 3-course option is €55 for adults. Children always have a 3-course meal and that is €30. If you are wanting to experience this super fun restaurant but not wanting to break the bank, then a 2-course option is absolutely perfect. You'll still get to have the amazing experience, you'll get full on your meal, but you'll be saving some money and making it more affordable. Next we're heading back to the hotels, and this time Sequoia Lodge, where there are 2 buffet restaurants. One of them is not open all year round, it's only in high season when they know a lot of people are going to be wanting to eat. So because of this, both of these buffets serve the same cuisine, it's just in high season they will have 2 buffet restaurants. Sequoia Lodge is themed around a wilderness lodge in the American Midwest. So here you're going to get a lot of American style foods, and it's going to be stuff a lot of people are going to like. So this could be a good option, and with it being less than a 15 minutes walk away from the park, you could head to either of these buffets if you wanted a little evening break before heading back into the parks for the fireworks. These buffet restaurants in Sequoia Lodge are called Hunter's Grill and Beaver Creek Tavern, and they will cost you €45 for adults and €25 for children. Next we're moving over to Newport Bay for Cape Cod. Again, this is a buffet restaurant. In the hotels you will find a lot of buffet restaurants, which again, if you're looking for a meal that's going to fill you up for a set price, is really handy. Newport Bay has a coastal theme, so here in Cape Cod you will find a lot of seafood and fish. To eat at this buffet will cost you €45 for adults and €25 for children. We're now heading back into Disneyland Park for one of the most popular restaurants in Disneyland Paris, and that is Captain Jack's restaurant. This restaurant is super fun because it's actually based inside the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. Whilst you are eating your meal, you will see people float past on their boats, which is so cool, and the decor inside is stunning. This restaurant has a super cool setting and also has a Caribbean themed menu to go along with the theme. Here you can have curries and fish dishes, there's lots on offer. A 3-course set menu here will cost you €45 for adults and €25 for children. Sticking in Disneyland Park, we're heading over to Plaza Gardens, but only for lunch. Lunch is more affordable because there are no characters, so do be aware if you book Plaza Gardens for lunch, you won't get to meet any of the characters. They only appear at breakfast and dinner. Plaza Gardens is a buffet restaurant inside the parks and has a lot of food that is very, very popular with a lot of people. Here you aren't going to find really unique cuisines or unusual foods. It's very, very plain, very, very accommodating for a lot of people. It's going to be stuff that most people will enjoy to eat. Plaza Gardens sits in the hub, so you are right near the castle, and it's one of those iconic Disney restaurants. Here, the lunchtime buffet will cost you €45 for adults and €25 for children, but do remember there's going to be no characters there at lunch. Our next restaurant is over in a hotel, and this time we are heading to the Art of Marvel Hotel. This is a super amazing themed hotel. If you love Marvel, you're going to have the best time. Absolutely everywhere they have props and incredible artwork, and it's well worth a visit if you're a Marvel fan. You don't have to be staying here to eat here. Anyone can book a reservation. At the Art of Marvel Hotel, you have a buffet restaurant called Downtown Restaurant. This is one of the most popular buffets at Disneyland Paris. And here you have a lot of American foods and really fun themed Marvel desserts. There are a lot of different dishes on offer here, and there is a lot of variety, so it's going to be suitable for most people. A buffet at Downtown Restaurant costs €45 for adults and €25 for children. Sticking with the Marvel theme, we're going to head into Walt Disney Studios Park and go to Pym Kitchen. This is a buffet restaurant in Avengers Campus, and again they have really, really fun Marvel themed food. So some foods are super oversized, some are interesting colours, some are small, so they've really gone with the theme. Although the food on the buffet is interesting looking because it has these unusual sizes, again, the food here is mostly American type foods, so it's going to be suitable for most people. Dining at Pym Kitchen will cost you €45 for adults and €25 for children. As you can see, the €45 price group is the biggest out of all of the price groups, and most restaurants are sort of within that range, so that is handy to know when you are budgeting for your trip. Next, we are creeping up in price slightly, and we are going going back to Newport Bay to Yacht Club. This is a restaurant that serves seafood and fish because of course Newport Bay has that coastal theming. This restaurant will cost you €55 for adults and €30 for children for a 3-course meal. For our next restaurant, we're going back into Disneyland Park and we are heading to Walt's Restaurant. This is an iconic Disney restaurant as it sits on Main Street, and inside you can see lots of photos, all of Walt Disney and the Disney parks, which is beautiful. The menu here has a really fun theme. It's all dishes that Walt Disney himself really enjoyed to eat, so you will find a lot of classic American dishes on the menu. This is one of the most expensive restaurants inside Disneyland Park itself, and it costs €55 for adults and €30 for children. We're now going to take quite a big leap into the next price category, and this time we are staying in Disneyland Park, but we are going to Plaza Gardens for the character dining dinner. As I mentioned before, Plaza Gardens has food that most people are going to enjoy, and there is lots of variety on offer. But in the evening you also have the characters, which is why the price tag has increased. The character dining buffet at Plaza Gardens costs €80 for adults and €40 for children. Staying in Disneyland Park, we're also going to another character dining meal, and this time it's at Auberge de Cendrillon, which is the princess character dining meal. This restaurant has an absolutely beautiful setting next to Sleeping Beauty Castle, and here you get to meet Disney princesses. Now, we all know the Princess Pavilion, the wait can be over 3 hours long, so this can be a fantastic way to meet the princesses whilst eating delicious food. This restaurant is more of a fine dining location. The presentation of the food here is absolutely stunning, and you will have elevated cuisine. This is one of my all-time favourite meals at Disneyland Paris because the food is really good and the interactions with the princesses is fantastic. However, Auberge de Cendrillon is one of the most expensive restaurants at Disneyland Paris, with adults meals costing €95 and children's meals costing €50 for a 3-course meal. Our final 2 restaurants are both in the recently renovated Disneyland Hotel. This hotel is so iconic. It sits over the gates of Disneyland. It is so beautiful, and some of the rooms even have a view down Main Street. This is a 5-star property and is the most expensive at Disneyland Paris, and it makes sense that both the restaurants here are the 2 most expensive restaurants in the whole of Disneyland Paris. First up, we have Royal Banquet, which is a buffet restaurant. Here you can have a variety of different foods, but it's really known for its seafood and fish display. The really fun thing about this character dining buffet is you get to meet the characters in their royal outfits. They look unbelievably cute, and this is the only place you can get to do this. A buffet at Royal Banquet costs €100 for adults and €50 for children. And now we've reached the point where we've got to the most expensive restaurant at Disneyland Paris. As you can see, the last couple of meals have all increasingly got much more expensive, and they are all character dining meals, so it is worth noting that you will be paying a premium because of that. But the most expensive restaurant at Disneyland Paris is Le Table de Lumière. This is a fine dining restaurant with an incredible setting, and here you get to meet Disney princesses, but you also meet their princes as well. I don't know anywhere else where you get to do this, and it's such a special experience. Because this is a fine dining restaurant, the food is very elevated. So if you don't like particularly fancy or intricate meals, this might not be for you, particularly if you have kids. But if you are looking for a super special experience, the chance to meet Disney princesses and their princes and dine on gourmet fine dining food, then this could be the restaurant for you. However, as I've mentioned, it is the most expensive restaurant at Disneyland Paris. In fact, it's one of the most expensive Disney restaurants in the entire world. The set menu at Le Table de Lumière costs €120 for adults and €60 for children. I hope I've given you a rundown of all the different table service meals you can get at Disneyland Paris, plus their prices will help you decide which ones might be best for you. I always love to have some table service meals during my trip because they have amazing theming and great food on offer, but they are not all priced equally, so sometimes knowing the cost in advance can help you decide which ones are going to be best for your trip. If you'd like some more tips of how to get the most out of your Disneyland Paris trip, stick around to the end because I have a playlist ready for you. Thank you so much for watching this video, and until next time, I hope you have a most magical day. Bye bye.